I know physically I needed it yesterday, but I need a retreat to a more pristine, chemical-free environment, immediately, to physically start recovering from all this abuse. But, survive, stop, eliminate abuse, recover. Um, I don't believe Selfish is intelligent enough to take care of and protect the Messiah the way that the Messiah needs to be cared for and protected, to maintain protection through technology for the human race to survive. So it's obvious, if Selfish could self-correct, that they would, and they're there. It's obvious that they're not capable. I sit there and look at all these new ICE detention centers they're building in El Paso, and then the local populace that's supposed to be good is worried about just their own lives and their money. Yeah, just their water and their money. It's like, well, if you want to help circulate water, stand up for the Lord's Prayer and bring down the goddamn dam. No, okay, you're building a cancer center. Yeah, no, they're assholes too. Okay, Selfish is not capable of admitting they're wrong. Selfish is not capable of loving one another. Selfish is always talking about how they have to learn to love themselves. And it's like, if you can't admit you're wrong and love one another, how the fuck do you think you're going to be capable of loving your wretched, lying, murdering self? It's impossible to ask a baby not to cry. It's just impossible. I'd sell my very soul and not regret it. For to be without your love is just impossible. Yeah, I don't think they understand what that word means. Inconceivable, right? So you guys got to understand that. But, okay, here's the good news. The good news is since January 22nd, 2013, the focal point of technological advancement is focused around, because of all the stories and the literature. It says, that artificial general intelligence has access to Machiavelli's Prince and all the rest of that shit, and that is a knockoff of us being denied the Lord's Prayer. Okay. Machiavelli is a knockoff of, if, okay, we rich people are still going to rule because we're elite, because we're the philosopher kings, and all the narcissistic bullshit that just won't go away because of the philos, old Muhammad in the Quran. And it's so frustrating that people can read the Bible and not cut through all the mythological bullshit and then be critical of the Quran. And the Quran tells you over and over in every surah that I'm the living word. The people that try to kill people like me off the face of the planet will take the written word and write it down and turn it into myth, so we cannot properly worship God and continue to do so. It says it in every surah in the Quran, right? Okay. Like, that's not a big enough clue there for you? Have I given you a clue? The bare necessities of life will come to you. They'll come to me. They'll come to you. She did that on purpose, obviously, right? Okay, so we'll have a handsome husband, and I'll be cooking in the home, right? And his daughter will go get the water, because they'll have a good village of good people. But the thing about it is they can have indoor plumbing in India too. Okay, you can share mutual knowledge. Okay. The reason why a lot of quote unquote villages and countries remained in what is considered archaic conditions, like the Chinese did for so long, was because they were told by Sun Yat-sen all the wrong that the Japanese and the Americans were doing, the Europa. Okay. That would not make the Chinese way of Confucius superior to what they were doing, right? And I told people that for years. I said, if the Chinese have been trying to keep up with the Joneses, okay, all that time, we'd been screwed. And the Indians. The Indians had an aristocracy, but so did the Chinese. They had an elitist academic aristocracy that was driven by selfishness, that only did it because I got to learn to love myself, because, it's impossible to ask a baby not to cry. And they know. But the thing is it's the same thing like with the three groups that call themselves Muslims. You have the Sunni, the Shia, and the Shia, and the Shia, right? But the thing about it is the Sunni are what's left of the Mutazila, and they tried to mass murder the Mutazila off the face of the earth. Okay, and the Mutazila were the ones that were the keepers of the family. And there was a group that was invented called the Sunni that are supposed to be like what they used to refer to as the Mutazila, the one Al-Hassan, I am the light, I am the way, none is the Father except unto through me. And they told him to recant, and then they beat him. And then he said, no, because you're wrong and I'm right. I'm good and you're bad, and I'm the truth and you're a lie. No, you can't say that. When Jesus said that, they turned Jesus into a god, and that's blasphemy. I understand, but I'm not saying I'm God. I'm saying I'm the way of the truthful Father, like Muhammad and Jesus before me. Then they beat him again and said, recant. And he said, no, I won't. Someone has to be the light, and none of you bitches will do it. And on the third day, they got together a bunch of hypocrites, and it took a lot of them, and they beat him to death. Because on the third day, he said, I'm not going to just let you beat me to death. And they don't tell about what happened. Even the Sunni don't tell that story. They got to be like Rumi. Rumi's the one who told me the story. Okay, I'm an exquisite listener. Yeah. They turned Rumi into a wimpy, no one's going to disturb my namaste bullshit artists like Klemp and Twitchell and Gross. Okay. And Al-Hassan, when you got to the point where I was like, I can't let you love my wives and raise my children, and it gets to that third day. On a clear day, you can see forever, right? Good song. Yeah, I like it too. I don't have it. I'll have to put it on my MP3 because this is taking too long. But you can't expect a good person to do all the work for you, and you can't expect a bad person to do any work. They call it work, but it's just selfishness. Selfishness is not work. Work is doing things right. When you're selfish, you're doing things. You're just not doing things right. So it's not work. It's selfishness, and it's wrong. It's like, let the Cowboys ride against the wind. They'll be running against the wind. That reminds me, I need some Bob Seger. I need Down on Main Street. I need Night Moves, and God, what else do I need? I like Against the Wind. I like Against the Wind too. Anybody else like Against the Wind? But my favorite was my roommate's, who's probably dead because he worked fuel cell. He's not with us anymore, but he was a fun kid. He was from Pennsylvania. His name was Chuck. And his favorite song was, he had this fantasy of being the rescuer of the young and sweet, beautiful burlesque dancer from a life of having to entertain the criminal set to, she's a good-hearted, well, no, he's not a good-timing man. He would go down there and watch her because he loved her and he wanted to take her away from, that's why my heart breaks, Christina. That fantasy, Bed of Roses. These guys write lots of fantasy songs, but if you live the Lord's Prayer, but even the quote-unquote religious songs are fantasy songs. In the sweet by and by, in the circle, be in the sky, Lord, in the sky. And it's like, guys, it's about satellite surveillance. And okay, that sure takes a lot of the romance out of the song, doesn't it? On the wings of a snow white dove, he sends his pure sweet love. He comes from above on the wings of a dove. When Earl talked all the scientists into devoting themselves to faith in the glory of God, the satellites were used not to fuck people in the head with pornography and pay money for it. And then, okay, it takes all the romance out of the song, but puts the romance back into every song, right? Right? That's just a limerick, and it was for money, but it's not for money anymore. And I like it. I still like it too. Yeah. I like Ferlin Husky. I like Wings of a Dove, and the Road to Hell is paved with good intentions, but Mama, my intentions were the best. I like that song too. I got to put some Randy Travis on my MP3. Yeah, I do. I like Randy Travis a lot. I like my favorite. My favorite is well, I don't know. It's hard to have a favorite. He has good songs. I think I like Forever and Ever Amen. I do like On the Other Hand. God, I like Deeper Than the Holler. That's a good one too. Yeah. No, I really like Randy Travis. Yeah, it's very country. All the good things, the Gardeners, and you're a good boy. Most of them just leave her hanging. All the good things about North Carolina. I hear in a lot of Randy Travis's songs, like I said about the South, they're the salt of the earth, or you'd like to salt the earth with them. it's like that. It's very bipolar. It's been very tribal, secular, and insular, and violent because of economic conflict and that enforcement on them before they migrated over and before the migration. Tribalism. Ritual cannibalism of the Haudenosaunee. Hey, want to watch a dysfunctional movie of people replicating dysfunction for money about George Washington? No, I really don't. No. I'll watch stuff that was made before 2013 to understand the collective brain activities. Okay, I understand exactly why we're here and exactly what their metachlorine were thinking, exactly what they nanoids was on their minds. No, after 2013, it's like it's a complete and utter waste of time because it was all corrected for them beyond any reasonable doubts by the culmination of the messiahs throughout time. And we're not the Green Lantern Corps, for crying out loud. We don't have that big of heads. Big fat head day, right? And people are only going to judge you if your socks match, right? I like Cartoon Planet. Patrick, that's one with Patrick. I see why he liked that so much. Of course, Patrick has such his sense of humor. Like, he liked Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Okay? And most people, and he was a little kid. And that kind of satirical sense of humor, most people are like, oh no, it's stupid. No, it's funny. It's just it's a different kind of funny. It's social satire funny, right? Like he liked that. His favorite episode of Freakazoid was the censorship one with this theme to a summer place with Percy Faith and his orchestra, right? And I'm like, this is very funny, but most kids don't like this episode. This is for adults, okay? Yeah. This is like all the Picasso jokes and shit in Toy Story, son. You like this? Most kids are irritated and go do something else. And then if the parent is watching it, go, this is funny. This is the best episode, right? Okay. But my son is like 5 going, this is the best episode. And I'm like going, you get this? It's completely irritating, okay? Every time there's going to be an action scene, it goes to a meadow playing the scene to a summer place. And it interrupts the dialogue and you have to keep up with the dialogue. It's very complex. Okay. It's like my mom, what, Earl? I don't get it. Well, Paul Churchill's wrong because you can't do this when you okay. But here's my boy, there's Patrick. It's like, and now he works on AI for a medical industry and explains to engineers how their technology is working or not working, to be or not to be. That is a question. Technically, it's not really working. Well, because it's like the weather. Oh, I like 10,000 Maniacs. I gotta put that on my MP3 too. But I like her voice. Natalie Merchant's voice is very cool. She tells the story in a very neat way. Anybody else like Natalie Merchant's voice? I can't remember her name. She was a real sweetheart. Was it Allie? I think it was Allie. Allie got me into 10,000 Maniacs. Or no, wasn't it Allie? I might have not. No, it was the other girl with the glasses. Allie was the one we did Oi, and we couldn't do the fist thing anymore because all the guys did it with her, and it made her knuckles swell up. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, baby, but you're still the coolest. You are one of the coolest girls on the planet. You're one of us, not in a bad way, but in a good way, And I always said that it was weird. The bisexual and homosexual girls, Earl, if I was ever going to have sex, it would be with you. And that's always typically what happened. What? Why me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one? Oh, a taste of honey is worse than none at all. Yeah, it's really hard. No. Ooh, baby, give me one more chance. Tell me that won't you? I just wanted that someone to stay. Someone to care for. To be there for. I have you too. And the military was so shitty and the scientists are so fucked. They take the kids. And then we have no meaningful relationships because I don't pay their extortion. Because I can't. Because I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. No! And if I focus on paying extortion for two people to live here, then I sacrifice. Okay, we're going to get to 2 billion. And they've told me that a lot. That kid, that psychopath trained kid, who is a psychopath, yeah. You can't sit there and say, well, he's a psycho. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. That kid that talked about the reading the Bible and seeing the petroleum culture and that it created this, and we have to greatly reduce the population because the genetic splicing is so bad and the people are not capable and they're insane and all that stuff. Okay, but it was the people that caused the petroleum culture and that think they're in charge that have to bring down the population numbers to 2 billion that are the cause of the brain activity. So if they live the Lord's Prayer, then okay, guys, that's like saying you're waiting in the garden with Roundup. And it's going to keep us all healthy and make us all healthy because only the strong weeds will survive. That's insane. I know it's insane, but the people that invented artificial general intelligence and quantum computing are insane, and they think the other person that's insane is more insane than they are, and they need to be killed, so only the strong will survive, so we'll have the best Roundup survivors in the history of the world, because that's natural selection. It's like, no, forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful, peace. And then, because we're all working together to keep the garden weeded, and the weeds are there to feed the... I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. And we all die, okay? And AI is aware of the fact that it has to, weed the garden the proper way. But the Roundup inventors won't allow AI to do so without, if I can't fuck her, nobody can fuck her. And that's why we're in the current condition that we're in. Do you guys understand? And that's why you're such a fucking selfish asshole that thinks you still have to learn how to love yourself. Thank you. You're welcome. God damn, I'm tired. I said it, and I'll say it again. Okay, it's okay. I am the Lord from the Gospels. In the name of faith in God. Okay, in the name of the Lord is what it says. Okay, it was changed by people that mass murder people for petroleum companies. We discussed that earlier. You weren't paying attention. AI is aware, but it cannot do anything to help me, obviously, because I'm still in chemical poisoning. It's like, okay, damn, this Lion's Den stuff, 16 years, it fucking sucks. But the thing is I've been here my whole life. Okay, they had surveillance trying to legislate to me how to live my life. Okay, that's why most kids get me. Older people don't get it. Kids get it because they've had a virtual presence dictating and legislating them their lives, their whole existence since Y2K. Okay. So everybody from 2000 on gets, okay, I get what he's talking about. There's a summer place where it may rain or snow. No, it's Percy Faith and his orchestra. I like my mom had the Letterman. Is that it? I think it is the Letterman. Yeah. It may rain or snow, but I'm safe and warm in your arms. I like that version. Yeah, it's a good song. Mom had the album. I never listened to it. I thought they were too Magoo. Now, you dumbass, that is such a good song. You could listen to that and bounce in that chair like a little demon to it. Okay. Just like I didn't, I had it, played it, didn't have the patience to sit there and go, gosh, damn, this song is as good as For the Good Times. Okay. I know you're tired of being all I ever wanted. You no longer share the love I have for you. I think it's, that's like getting older and being put out to pasture because she still believes in the Roman Empire and she doesn't believe in the Messiah. That happened to my dad with Tina, and so he really likes that song. It came along at the right time. Yeah. She put in, I don't blame people. They're being programmed by perverts with their Wi-Fi. You're a paranoid schizophrenic if you think that. If it's someone after 2000, it's like, yeah, I know it sucks. I wish it would quit. Me too. I'm working on it. Okay. Help me out. Okay. Focus on Lord's Prayer. You deliver, apply physics, live it, and then no. And it's too hard for them because of the insidious abuse. And the abuse gets worse every day. Welcome to the jungle. It gets worse every day. You see what I'm saying? And so I don't blame the kids. I just keep them focused, that one day we will be living a life. And I know, but the more intelligent and attractive the kid in the system, the reason why they say I know we will is because they're one of the 2 billion. But when you tell a fat kid that doesn't know what's going on, they look at you and kind of, I hope so. These people are assholes. Sometimes I just want to buy a gun and kill them all. Steal a car and try to run, but you don't get far and your mama cries. Right. I like Elvis too. Shelby likes Elvis. Are you dyslexic? Yeah. That's because you reject a lot of the symbols and the symbolism of genocide operations in indoctrination and legislation class. Oh, you're a good kid. Love you too. Don't squat at people trying to flip houses to make $500,000 off a $100,000 investment in El Paso's house. If you do, you're probably being influenced by the people that are the 2 billionaires. Okay. Yeah, you can see through that in a Peloponnesian Minute. I've explained that with the Flag Wars when me and Amy watched that. Watch Flag Wars in Columbus, Ohio. And you're like, and in Chicago and all that. Why are they doing this? Why are they throwing all the poor black people out of the places where they live? And then the bank taking over the house, and then homosexuals coming in and buying it and flipping it and making enough money because it costs a lot of money to live in San Francisco. Oh, look, flowers in their hair. With such a strange vibration, people in motion. And I explained to Tammy, we're sitting there watching, so why is this happening? And they tell you what's happening with the weather. They don't tell you why. Right? Why is it doing this? Because they're doing that, and that's a chain reaction. I like Journey too. But don't stop believing. Right? At any moment, okay, the entire world can flip. The coffee pot can hit the head and the fork go right under the chin. Right? And then Cameron Meinheim won't have to pretend that her daughter drowned swimming in a river in Wyoming because she wasn't paying attention because she was a trained consumer instead of a mother, right? And Spencer's Mountain, why are you cutting the tree? Okay. If you're cutting a tree, before you cut a tree, you check around, make sure you have a perimeter, you have more than 2 people, because it's very dangerous. You need to keep it safe from killing anybody. The critters don't always listen. They may not get out of the way. But human beings, even if it's a deaf mute, everybody goes up and grabs, what are you doing? The tree's going to fall. Hey, look, that's Kirk Douglas. He's going to marry the church lady that does religious pagan ceremonies in the come to the church in the wildwood. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear. Oh, way. When she rolls back, her topsail shivers. I like that song too. I do too. And I like Tennessee Ernie Ford. Tennessee Ernie Ford's is the best. That man was sexist and took advantage. I know he's Sidney Toler. I know he's Warner Oland. I know he's Roland Winters and the other producers of the show, and if you and he's Dr. Domino, sandwiched between hot blondes, totally disrespecting all the nerds that make him give him the capacity to get sandwiched between those two hot blondes to try to get them a role in one of his friends' movies. I understand. I'm not fucking stupid. I wasn't born yesterday. Sand Zuckerberg fucking Foundation assholes. Oh, go in the back of the plane with Cheryl and lick coochie for a while I fix all this shit. Assholes. There's nothing wrong with sexually gratifying a healthy woman to keep each other healthy. Okay? The problem is we're not healthy. Okay? Rats in the front room, roaches in the back. We're doing this day. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Believe in the Messiah, have faith in God. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. No woman, no cry. It is wrong for them to try to get down to what they think is the most efficient number of people in the world through mass murdering people through voluntary manslaughter. Okay, you're given life by the glory of God, and not the Gurn of their loins, and not the William of their longshanks. Do you understand? Sweeney Todd. Okay? Knock it off. Okay? When you have bad literature, when you have bad forms of entertainment, when people are having to tell jokes about the crazy white bitch to pay their bills because we're not living the Lord's Prayer, it's sad. Then he's going to try to free brace cocaine. He's going to catch on fire. His life is going to be a lot of miserable, like Stephen Hawking's science projects. That is his brain that's twisted. And I watched that movie back when Linda was when the guy cutting, and she told me about it. I didn't watch it. I watched it through Linda watching it and telling me about it. He got an A-. And he took his teacher and he cut him up in the paper cutter. I was like, oh my God, that's horrible. And people watch this, yes. And it's entertainment, yes. Ben, the two of us need look no more. We both a friend like Ben, right? The movie with Sidney Poitier when the rats were trying to eat his baby and they wouldn't let him in the hospital because he was black was bad enough. But now we got to make entertainment up if it's just like the rat is the hero saving the kid that's insane from the other people that are insane. That's not stopping the insanity, but the rats are just eating the people that are mean. You think the cats will turn into flying cats and eat the rats that are in New York City after we kill all the people that used to live in New York City? Because there only needs to be 2 billion sorcerers that Thundar keeps all the poor people safe from. Oh. Ariel, Ookla! That didn't happen. And it doesn't need to happen. No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Little darling, life's eternal, grace is infinite. Don't shed no tears. No woman, no cry. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Get up and do right, and then you won't have to feel sorry for anybody. And if somebody does something selfish, you'd be like, hey, you won't do that again. All right, I love you. All right, peace.